In this next session, we shall get an insight into mentoring, transformative, sustainable business landscape for impacting climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to please put your hands together and make some noise as I welcome to the stage Ms. Poonam Pramod Mahajan, former Member of Parliament, Mumbai North Central. A round of applause, please.
Do I take the stage? I go ahead, right? Okay. Thank you, TimesNow. Thank you, Times of India Group. I know we are getting late. Everyone is postponing and curtailing every session. But there is a wonderful award ceremony going to be happening here. And then a wonderful dinner. But in between a dinner and ceremony, you keep a politician with a mic, which is a very tricky situation, as you know, because politician and a mic, the relation is quite deeper. And प्यार के बिना हमारा कुछ होता नहीं है. And taking that forward, I'll try my best to curtail my session also to make the way for the wonderful people here to take the program forward. I was so happy to be speaking at this wonderful event, as when you talk about sustainability, climate change, wildlife, animals, oh, that's my passion. I use that passion as getting into politics. I use that to become a policymaker. I use that passion to put in those ideas forward. I use that passion to advocate for change. And I use that passion to support a lot of young startups where I'm their advisors, and I have wonderful stories to tell you how we are taking sustainable business forward. I'm very happy to be here. When I was telling my 11-year daughter, Avika, that Avika, I'm going to speak at your favorite program, which will be all about sustainability. As young nation, young Indian, they know what it is all about, and much better than us, they're looking forward to it. She told me, Mama, please talk about Cool the Globe, right? Because she was following, since she was 8 years old, she's been following Shark Tank for a very long time. And she told me about this girl, Preeti, right? She's here in the crowd. And she was talking and telling me, Mama, please speak about Cool the Globe, where how they work on sustainability. And a young girl has put in her plan about how to have a sustainable business and make that impact, and to know that I'm part of that impact. So I'm really happy to be here, and that impact is very important to us. I think a lot of speakers spoke about certain issues. And today in the morning, when you opened your newspaper, we got the Moody's report. The report said the water crisis creates risk to India's credit strength. And when we know that how India is taking a leapfrog movement, where we are taking ourselves forward from the fragile 5 to top 5 economies. So this is a very important moment for us. And in that moment, every little issue will get difficulty for our economic strength. Someone was talking about 50 degrees Celsius in Delhi. I think that is, of course, because of climate impact, and of course, the parliament is also on. So, garmi to zarur Delhi mein zyada hi rahegi. And the Mumbai rains. Mumbaikars are sitting here mid-June. The rains are not the way it used to be when I used to go to school. All this we know because of the rapid industrialization, rapid urbanization. By 2030, 50% of India will be urbanized, or maybe more than that. There are all studies, we've been reading about it. But why we discuss and speak about companies need to be more sustainable and looking forward to businesses and into sustainable manner. What is their job to get into sustainability? We all know climate impact is very important. It is not impacting us as human beings, but it's impacting our economic strength. It's impacting on every aspect of our lives, which is actually turning into a difficult strength. And we need to take this forward. So climate change is not now the tokenism of activists talking about climate. It's a real story. It's not any fantasy we were discussing about, or she's an activist talking about climate. No, this is a reality. We have only one earth to live on, at least right now for our generation, and we have to work towards for our next generation to work on. Now, because that's why companies, I always feel the idea for survival and idea for business, how do we look at it? Now, for companies, moral imperative is not about climate impact. It is about strategic necessity for businesses and taking businesses forward. That's why we need sustainable businesses. Biggest part of business is demand and supply, which we all know about it. But when you talk about supply chain, in that supply chain, the impact of climate is affecting all of us, then even businesses go tumble down and we need to work on newer ideas. So that's why climate change is not a social issue. Climate change is a survival issue. For us, climate change is not only about human vulnerability, but it has become, because of human vulnerability, it has become an economical sustainability business. Why we need it? Because it's become an economical vulnerability. When we come back to India, where we are living, I was listening to these wonderful industry masters discussing everything about it. You know, it is a challenging country, demographically dividend, young, with a lot of aspiration, a wonderful prime minister who's been serving this country. But we are 1.4 billion people. We are divided by demographically dividend youngsters, urbanization, we have smart cities, we have towns, we have so many aspiration and people coming together. The strength of this nation is our farmers, our agriculture. Strength of this nation is our young nation, women who have the strength of self-help groups and work towards their own strength and work towards the society's strength. Now, when the country we discussed from fragile 5 to top 5 economy, we always talk about India itself has this biggest consumer demand, 1.4 billion. And with that consumer demand, we have to work on sustainable businesses. As our Prime Minister, from very first day from 2014, Mr. Modi has always been supporting COP. We spoke about Paris Agreement. We are working on that. And the net zero emission, which was promised by 2070, as India is working towards this, we are going on a right track. We are not delaying anything, working towards it. And I was just listening to Sweden. They are also promising with EU by 2045, they will be zero emission with carbon. And I really want to say how IKEA is working as a business module. We all know how sustainable business module we can work through. And when the Mexico was talking about gender divide and how they want to work on gender parity, I want to congratulate them that they have a woman president who's taking the country forward. So of course, everywhere we see every leader of countries and leaders from the companies who would like to talk about every aspect of climate change and sustainable businesses. I know now climate change and businesses, it's not only about risk management. It is about fostering new economic opportunities. Thanks to having not thinking only about a risk management, we need now newer economic opportunities, newer business ideas. And we have, as I was listening to Zomato, and just now actually Zomato a sandwich to my daughter before coming here. So how technology has helped all of us to help and curb the climate impact on us. The kind of impact we are having, technology has been a very big strength. I remember reading this book, 21 Lessons for 21st Century by Noah Harari. I'm a fan of his writing. He discussed that how AI will be completely ready for us for 20 years from now. But with that AI, we need to have that kind of sustainability where we can teach our children how to farm, how to grow vegetables. What we need is also balance of that. And I found that quite interesting, that challenges which we are facing with technology and the challenges we'll have with technology is very important aspect we have to work on. And you know that futuristically, when we look at it 20 years from now, AI will have its own way, evolving itself. We will be evolving with AI. But with AI, job opportunities, working on an impact work, we also need to work on that. That's why tech is very important practices. There are many companies I have seen, Unilever is doing pretty well, making profits through climate-friendly practices. I have seen Nike doing it, Apple doing it. I mean, you must have heard about many fashion designers also working on climate impact and sustainable fashion. We are seeing fast fashion, but we need to see a sustainable fashion also. How do we come up with that? And in that sustainable fashion, I see Stella McCartney doing a fabulous job. Using alternative mode for leather. That is also a very important part for us because carbon emission with animal products has been very difficult for us to see it in coming times when we will lose a lot of farming land and we will be, when we have to feed almost 8 to 9 billion people on this planet Earth, we'll be facing those climate impacts also on us. And I still remember when we talk about sustainable practices, we are discussing business leaders, we're discussing fashion designers. I remember in 2016, I had got Coldplay concert here for Global Citizen Sustainable Development Goals. At that time, Global Citizen, when we had this huge concert with Coldplay, from that day, I saw again the next concert of Coldplay all over the world. They have done 200 concerts. And those concerts they work on, especially it's wonderful, that they work on cutting down 50% of carbon footprint of their concerts. And which is fabulous. I mean, it's not only about industry masters of corporate world or farmers. We need each and every aspect to contribute for this climate change and this impact to work on and come up with idea of sustainability. So I find that quite interesting, so I that shared with you. Now, I know I have only 0 seconds to left on with, but I need to tell you as a policymaker what experiences I have with, I know time's up, I hope my political time's up is not there. Still, I have a brighter future to look forward to and work towards it. But with my experiences as climate change, I've been mentoring a lot of not-for-profit organizations, young masters of industry, a lot of green startups. There are 2 startups and 2 incubation centers I would like to talk about where I work with them as their advisors. I've been advising 10 startups for past 10 years, and I'm very happy that as a policymaker, they give us also that opportunity to work on sustainable practices. One, as I've been working on lot of work towards animal sustainability. I work for wildlife. So it's been that my passion. I've been mentoring Good Food Institute India, that incubation center. That incubation center is an innovative international incubation center supported by Gates Foundation. It's been, Bruce Friedrich has been taking this incubation center to another level. But when they came to India, they started working with us. What we are working on in these plant protein and cultivated meat practices, and of course in dairy products. So what we are doing is helping entrepreneurs, getting them together, working on finding a proper incubation center, advocating their cause and supporting for their business ideas to take forward, because when we have to feed 8, 9, 10 billion people in coming 20, 30 years, we need these sustainable eating practices where farmers and the land is ready for all of us to feed. There is one more wonderful young group of people, a group of people where we have Harvard professors with us, we have MIT professors with us, we have Cambridge young professors with us who work with us. So Verditum works with us. They have created a very simple AI tool. That AI tool, you must have heard how in America, FBI is using AI tool to predict a crime. That kind of study they're doing. What we are doing is predicting a wildlife crime. Because we have been seeing the kind of trade we have it in wildlife, and the kind of amount of trade is destroying the wildlife also, and the strength of every green emission everywhere. So we have created this idea and this AI tool which is working in Africa and some parts of India, that how do we predict a wildlife crime. And in that we collect data, talk to farmers, work on the project that affect the society and environment. Now when we were discussing ESGs, this is the new way of ESG where we create an AI tool and work towards these sustainable practices to work on. I know as my time's up, but I'm very happy to be on this platform to discuss my idea towards sustainable business practices. In coming time, the government of India, Honorable Prime Minister Modi, he always spoke about sustainable businesses, its practices, how we come as India with net zero. And India is an emerging economy. We are a strong economy. We don't have that kind of strength what European Union have got it. They are stronger nations. But in coming times when there will be COP coming up after Dubai, we just want in coming times other countries coming and contributing, supporting the idea of India, where India is working on sustainable work. And when we support other countries who have such a big strength and heavy load of such a big population, then that kind of relation when European Union and countries like stronger countries come together with India and other countries, I think we can come together and make a stronger climate impact than just having conferences and discussing ideas on it. Thank you very much for inviting me here. I wish you all the very best. I hope in coming times, I would like to get to work with all of you in coming times and learn and evolve with this idea to take this young nation forward with young leaders like you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.